my decade-old rock show. This is how I lose friends and followers, and this is Jess Paul. Welcome to our second installment of what I call rock band superlatives, where we diminish and demean some of our favorite bands. If you're still confused, go watch number 1 where I roasted my top 50 favorite bands of all time, old or new, and if I've missed one here, they might just be on that one. Or I don't care enough about them to talk about them. What constitutes a classic rock band? Basically, if they're popular before the year I was born, they're classic to me. You can figure that out yourself. Without further ado, let's get started to getting me canceled. That sound clip will be used for when I actually get canceled one day. Pink Floyd. Can't watch Wizard of Oz ever again without imagining a spacey interlude during Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Velvet Underground. Every song sounds like they wrote and recorded it in a green room 10 minutes before a show. Fish. I like donuts too. Eagles. Does anyone realize this band was number 1 on the Billboard charts for like the entirety of the 70s? The Smiths, making self-deprecation sexy since 1982. Fleetwood Mac, never sleep with your bandmates. Or do, and produce one of the most poignant relationship albums in rock history. Simon and Garfunkel, 50% of this band went on to do great things. Chicago, I always get them in Boston mixed up. The Grateful Dead, the most dedicated fan club ever. Jefferson Airplane. Really, any band could be drug rock if you're high while you're listening to them. The Doors, producing the most popular dorm room poster of all time. The Who, orchestrated an entire era of edgy procedural crime drama. Led Zeppelin, what does sex sound like through an amp? Oh yeah. Bob Dylan, wrote some of the most influential music of all time, and every cover of his songs is better than the original. AC/DC still pumps you up for anything! Boston, writers of the legendary ballad If You Leave Me Now. Cream, rock history's first supergroup. The Byrds, almost the Beatles. Aerosmith, the Rolling Stones with scarves. Santana, who needs some mess of lyrics when that guitar can sing? Van Halen, recorded the original Wrecked Radio theme song before I knew what copyright violation was. Put the song down in the comment if you're so OG that you remember what it was. ZZ Top, everyone has a beard except for Beard. Does anyone else find that as funny as I do? Genesis, they invented the drop before dubstep was invented. Ooh. Get that out of the coffee. The Allman Brothers, did I spell that right? The Rolling Stones, scruffier Beatles. Journey, I think they wrote the most popular song in the history of sound. The Kinks wrote the original version of the Van Halen cover that I used for the Rec Radio theme, so if you didn't get it before. Blue Oyster Cult, more cowbell! Queen, most bands have a frontman, but none before or after have had a Freddie Mercury. Bruce Springsteen, the only person who could give himself a self-asserting nickname and totally get away with it. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, most original folk rock act with the most unoriginal band name. Creedence Clearwater Revival, such good southern rock that they made me at one point want to live in a swamp. Steppenwolf, they didn't invent the midlife motorcycle crisis, but... The Clash, taught everyone the word Casbah. Guess who? Thought they were a spin-off of The Who for a decade. Kiss, more showmanship than anyone ever asked for. Blondie, I'll call you, just give me your number, Deb. Rush, rock and roll that survived on helium and nerd culture. The Sex Pistols, the band that makes you want to trash your hotel room and then kill your GF in it. The Buzzcocks, a much more palatable Sex Pistols. Lynyrd Skynyrd, recorded one of the most famous encore songs for themselves and any other band that ever played on a stage again ever. Play Freebird! Who was that? The Police, Sting is British, right? Black Sabbath, half a century of heavy metal royalty, just to be discounted by the most embarrassing rock reality show of all time. The Beach Boys, American Beatles. Neil Young, Canada's unofficial dad. Poison, the most played non-country tracks on the jukebox in the grossest redneck dive bar in your town. Guns N' Roses didn't popularize only one, but 2 extremely famous hair accessories. Twisted Sister, who said drag had to be pretty? The Ramones, I've never seen any of their eyes nor heard any of their lyrics. And number 50, saving the Top Guns for last, the Beatles. 50% of them are still going on to do great things. No. The Beatles. Do you realize that they are at the root of at least half a dozen prolific rock subgenres, and they weren't even together for a decade? Thank you everyone. Thank you to you for sitting and listening to my terrible jokes about amazing bands. Did I miss any? Did I not do a good enough job at roasting one of your favorite bands? Well, do it yourself! Oh. I don't know. So you go in the comments and give me your best roast for some of your favorite bands. If I did them, if I didn't, I want to read them all. And if I was too mean, it was probably because I love them more. Story time. We got another story time. If you have any subject matter that you would like me to talk about, I'm here for it. You can put that down in the comments too. Believe me guys, I read all of the comments. So all you have to do is talk to me and I know you exist. And that's how we work on the internet. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, we might do it again. So stick around, sub, like, do whatever you think that you should do as a non-paying YouTube subscriber, and I'll appreciate it. Silently. And this is my outro. Bye. Play Freebird! Steppenwolf. They didn't invent the midlife motorcycle crisis. AC/DC still pumps you up for anything!